Do you live in Memphis?
No, I don't. I live in Atlanta. Atlanta is like Memphis, but more resourceful and it's more upgraded. We don't have a lot of stuff in Memphis. Atlanta is like the Black Hollywood, but it got the same similar culture. I didn't want to move too far away from my roots, so it's a 6-hour drive. If I need to get back home to my parents, hop on the road, 6-hour drive, 45-minute flight. It's right up the street, but it's just better. It's less violence.
My grandson moved to Atlanta, and he loves it.
Yeah, I love Atlanta.
All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect, back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is the so-called United States, man. And you hear it. So I've been, like, kind of having fun throughout the time I've been in the truth. This will be my 7th year. And occasionally I'll do this epistle on Atlanta is not your rest. And the reason being, man, we from the area, man. Born and raised all throughout Georgia. My family, my mama's side, been in Atlanta for long as I can remember. Since, I'm an 80s baby. They born in the country, but they've been in Atlanta since the early 90s, man. And that's all we really know, man, is this Georgia shouter shit. But the reason why I always like to bring it out is because first and foremost, you hear what Glorilla is saying about Atlanta. The reason why I'm bringing it out about, hell, Babylon the Great isn't our rest. Hell, this earth isn't our rest. But there seems to be, even still, now make no mistake, that shit dying down. The Atlanta is losing its pump, all right, its strength. Just like the rest of Babylon the Great, just like what happened to New York when New York started with the hip hop breakdance, and now they are just a bunch of buffoons. Same thing, how we took California seriously. Now the gang shit just looks stupid. You know what I mean? It was intimidating at first. Everybody in Dickie suits, they working out in the front yard. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never seen nothing like this from the South, what they got going on, and this shit died down. So Atlanta's on its last leg as well. But our people think that this is their rest of all the black people, and the main places they want to go is Texas, you know what I mean, Atlanta, and like Miami, for the black folks. There's other places, some places in like a lot of rich black folks up in Maryland and of course California. But as far as my AO go, because this is what I grew up in, you know what I'm saying, I'm very familiar with the area. Family been in College Park, South Side for as long as I can remember, man. All throughout Georgia though, but this about Atlanta. Our people think it's their freaking rest. Let's just get straight to it. Just like Glorilla is speaking about it, and everybody has this mentality that ain't from here, that this is some type of paradise. And then when they get down here, and brothers got GMS brothers in Atlanta for sure. But when these wicked Israelites or whoever moved down here, they moved down here with the idea that this is just like how people came to the United States, and they thought that this was the land of freedom, milk and honey, and it was just a land of opportunity. And then they found out how stinking New York was, man. They trying to come over here to, see that Statue of Liberty, and that's supposed to be the sign of freedom and liberty, and come to find out, oh, this is a hellhole, this New York place. Same thing with Atlanta. You can still smell the crack. Yeah, I ain't even playing. Our people think that this is some type of Mecca, they call it. They think this is the place for black people, more so the southern kingdoms, the so-called black folks, more than the northern kingdom. They, kind of, a lot of northern kingdom are on the other side, like the west coast, man. Brothers were in our captivity on this side. We familiar with all this stuff, man. Our people think that Atlanta is some type of playground, some type of place where you can go and get away from all your problems. If you were whore in this place, or you had some ops, all right, in this place, you could just run to Atlanta. Matter of fact, Kendrick say that about Drake in that song, you run to Atlanta. Everybody runs to fucking Atlanta, okay? For one reason or another, whether they're chasing fame, refuge from that weak ass shit, like, cause they ain't got no. Come on, man. I don't want to get like carnal, but why can't y'all promote y'all own stuff if you from like Connecticut or Wisconsin? Why can't y'all have your own culture? Why y'all gotta move down here and copy us and try to like blend in and then try to act like you know where you going when you got your navigation system and try to tell me what's the south side? Done dealt with all this shit with these, especially before I was in the truth. We pushing the line about that A shit, before the truth. All these niggas come down here, talking this and that, all and try to tell you something about where you born and raised. And when I was in the military, I'm telling folk, about where I'm from. You got grown ass men, I'm a teenager. I'm 17, 18, 19 in the army. I'm still repping that. You know what I mean? You got niggas from Alabama in the army, high ranking, that just see me because I carry myself a certain way. I can talk like this, shout out, woo, 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 or I can talk, very, some Jakes can do that. So I carry myself a certain way when it's time to carry myself a certain way. And a bitch ass nigga, try to tell me where I'm from, basically, just because, they think that everybody from this nigga tell me people from Atlanta don't talk, because I'm talking like a decent, respectable young man while I'm in the military at certain times, right? I'm not doing all this shout this and that, why start all this and all that, So he gonna tell me where the hell I'm from just because it don't sound like what he think Atlanta person sound like, or perceive. First and foremost, that the how people in Atlanta talk, that's not an Atlanta thing, dumbass. That's a Georgia, especially from Atlanta on down to the southern parts of Georgia. Then you go Alabama. If you take a person from Alabama and Georgia, as far as like their accent, you pretty much can't tell. And they go from the Carolinas too. You start getting down to Florida, it'll get a little bit more like, you could tell Florida, but it's very similar. This southern region, how we talk is all how we were brought up in our captivity. Remember, they called us stupid and shit back in the day, for our lack of education. And not everybody want to move their so-called black ass down here. Okay, let me see what else I got. And I just typed in on
You live
YouTube
in Memphis?
No.
the Black Mecca, and let's see what the algorithm calls the Black Mecca. I just typed in the Black Mecca, right? Atlanta.
Atlanta is a
So
city.
basically, I wonder. Mecca. I just did an AI because I never, I don't even know what that word means, man. Just an AI definition of the word Mecca primarily refers to the holiest city in Islam located in Saudi Arabia, man. So basically, it's associated with a holy place. Basically, what we're saying, the kingdom. They think that Atlanta is the kingdom because they come down here, they get rich, they got all this sodomite stuff going on. They're getting rich, and everybody think that this is where a black person can come and find refuge from our captivity. And we're here to tell you, no, Atlanta is not your rest, just like the United States is not your rest, man.
With the highest number of black millionaires in America. For years, people have called it the Black Mecca because almost every black person here seems to be making it big.
I became a millionaire officially at 22.
You see what I'm saying? And it's just nothing but the image. We know what the real A talking about. It's horrific. Okay. Poverty everywhere, drug addiction everywhere, prostitutes everywhere, YNs everywhere, dilapidated homes everywhere, especially in the real A. You know what I mean? They got all this, they constantly building stuff, and you don't know what the hell is going on in Atlanta right now. They got a new damn skyscraper, or what they call a tall building. I guess it has to be a certain height to be classified as a skyscraper, but definitely tall building, apartment complex made. They're building them like every day. Every time you go to Atlanta, it's like all these new skyscrapers. It's out of freaking control. Don't they got the FIFA or whatever, the World Cup there? Oh man, people think that I'm talking about, it is the world's most busiest airport. So just think of all the demonic spirits rolling through Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But I say, bro, family born and raised in the A, man. I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with the sexual debauchery, all right, the sexual immorality that's running rampant. There's a bunch of orgy, a bunch of swingers lifestyle shit going on, a bunch of sex clubs and stuff, a bunch of brothels right there in Atlanta, and it's legal, bro. It's called one club called a Trapeze. It's a swingers club. Ain't nothing but some freak stuff going on in the ATL, and which is exactly why they got a high STD rate. Matter of fact, Just quick old AI stuff, right? Atlanta and the border of Georgia consistently experience some of the highest STD, STI rates in the U.S. All right. It says in the Atlanta metro area, that's that big hub. All right. This, because, you know what I mean? Where people predominantly located. If you look at Georgia, man, I don't know how many. I'm gonna Google all this stuff right quick, but it says hover around 993 cases per 100,000, and it's probably a lot more than that. But you know, consistently, they're, you know, top 5. I know for sure as far as STDs and STIs go, man. And why is that? Okay, you got so many people. Let me see, Atlanta, POP. The population of the city of Atlanta. Yeah, but yeah, right. So like that's Atlanta, the actual city, College Park, and all these are actual separate cities. But as black folks, this is what we collectively call the A. So in the A, all right, so in Atlanta, it's about 600,000. Okay, but in the whole A, College Park, got down the SWAT, Decatur, all that stuff, combined, it's a 6.5 million. Nigga, is you crazy? And that's what I'm talking about. If you look at a map like Georgia, the rest of the cities, Macon, Columbus, Augusta, and these are, you know, quote unquote major cities, and I've lived in most of these. It's like a ghost town. All right. Most of the people in Georgia live in the freaking in Atlanta area, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got 6.5 million people in the collectively what we are black folk called the A. Okay, you know that's from the north side of Buckhead up there in Dunwoody, all up the going up Georgia 400, all that stuff. If you brother drive trucks or you been, you know what I'm talking about. They go from all the way up to Buckhead where Lenox Mall at, all the way down to the south side where the airport at. You know, all that collective we call the A. You know, Atlanta is Atlanta. It's a city. All right, all these other R cities. You know, it's confusing. Just like how they got boroughs. Don't tell us. We know what we're talking about. All right. But the whole point is when you got 6.5 million people in a little area like that, you're bound to have an insane amount of everything that's against Yahweh Hashem and Hawashah. And the Lord is letting that happen. You know, the CDC down there, I believe through the Spirit, the Lord is going to let a disease like this earth has never seen in Atlanta going to be like the headquarters for it, because they are wicked. And I'm talking about beyond wicked and beyond pride. How could they not be when they think that you can move to Atlanta and become a millionaire? And like I said, all I did was type in Black Mecca. And just, I haven't even seen any of these videos.
So it is official. I have moved from DMV to a brand new city. So let's see if you can guess the city that I now live in based on these Black history
Sound like a sodomite. He got that sodomite draw.
facts about the city. You know I gotta do it. This city was home to the first ever
I
Black-owned.
don't care, dude.
Because see, it's like we only desire the big house because of who lived in it.
Yeah. And then you get the point. And then I saw a look. This is the richest black family in Atlanta. 890 billion. I don't know if that's how much they, but good gracious, man.
In Atlanta, you would be wrong. One name commands absolute respect and immense financial power: the Levitt family.
The Levitt family.
Gregory B. Levitt Sr. and his wife Betty Levitt are the titans behind.
They could be Hamites, they could be Israelites, they could be Edomites, but for face value, they look like so-called black people. Okay, and these folks is billionaires in Atlanta. So then you got Tyler Perry, then you got all these motherfucking celebrities, Rick Ross, Shaq, all right, Ben moving down here, Ben, you know what I mean? And we know where y'all niggas at, you know what I mean? And like the wicked Jake know where y'all at. They want to come down here and thinking that you safe. I mean, niggas, I'm serious, bro. When Kendrick said that, it's not just Drake that run to Atlanta. It's like a lot of Southern Kingdom Israelites move down. And it ain't just the Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom too, but a lot of black folks, so-called, move to Atlanta for success. They think that this is a refuge. They think that it's some magical place. They think that this is Disneyland basically for black people. Let's just keep it real. Y'all think that Atlanta is Disneyland for black people based off if you're not from the area, from the shit that you you seen off of TV. Because for up until the you know, around the 90s, but really the early 2000s, Atlanta was getting shit on. You know, all they called us country stupid. You know what I mean? It was all about New York and California. Let's quit playing. And then Outkast came on the scene, and they was pushing that pressure. In the early 2000s, the crunk era came in, and it's been the A ever since. Let's just keep it real. I don't necessarily agree, like, you know, but I'm from the area. I feel like, yeah, we got some culture, like as far as like carnally go. And you know, yeah. What can we say? If you from Nebraska, why you not pushing the line with your culture? We are authentically who we are per our captivity. We talk like we talk per our captivity. The culture, how we dress, the weather. We got on long sleeve t-shirt and shorts, like, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. It's all based off of our captivity and the salt that is Jake, you know, the little remnant of the salt. Why can't you other Israelites have your own stuff? Why is everybody moving to Atlanta or moving to Texas and things like that? And I mean, y'all ain't got no salt. Let's just keep it real. If you gotta move to another place and blend in, you should have enough salt as an Israelite though to make Philly, you know, the place where it's at. Or like I say, Nebraska, where it's at, or wherever, Maine, because Israelites scattered all throughout this guy. But everybody want to come to Atlanta because it is what it is, and the people that from Atlanta, they real puffed up about it, you know. And again, it's dying out now, but the early 2000s, man, my cousins, you know what I mean, I got some cousins, man, you know, they say they gonna die in the A. They ain't moving regardless of what happened, you know. But they prideful, just like how New Yorkers were prideful, and they still are. But like, especially in the 90s, man, just like California people, very prideful. Then they moved to Atlanta. Now everybody know it's let Atlanta or die. Like, it's just over with. But check this out. Why y'all niggas trying to move down here? Remember, this is going on in Atlanta, and this is why we telling y'all Babylon the Great is not your rest. But especially, this is my area of operation, so I'm gonna speak on it. This is what's going on in Atlanta. You saw the STD rates, man, and we could get deeper into this, but just make the point.
Atlanta has more surveillance cameras per person than anywhere in the U.S.
Already they have the busiest fucking, and that's part of why, right? You got the busiest airport in the world. Let them tell it. So you got all type of nations that's coming through Georgia, coming through Atlanta. This is small ass city for real, right? 6.5 people living there. You got, and how many people? Probably billions that are coming through this bitch on, like, you know, on a yearly basis, if not even 6 months. Billions of people coming through this airport. So of course that the CDC down there and just a whole bunch of niggas are in Atlanta. They're aware of that. Therefore, Atlanta has become the mecca of a fucking surveillance state. Fucking early 2000s, we in the apartment complex, dudes coming in these cars and these vehicles, scanning people's license plate. I knew then I had to get the hell out the A. I ain't in the A, I'm still in the GA. But I had to get up out of there. I've been locked up in that all on Wright Street. That's Fulton County. It's horrific. That place need to be investigated. But the whole point, man, getting back kind of serious, man. Hey, this place, and just like Atlanta is the mecca of the surveillance state. Hell, the United States is finna grow. We're about to be under a surveillance state combined with that MOTB, man. All this stuff is coming together. They want to just keep eyes on everybody. And again, Atlanta is not your rest. If they're telling you that they have the most cameras, all right, surveillance cameras in the United States, this is not your rest, dummy. You can't get away with nothing.
Outside of China, we're the most surveilled city in the world.
Outside of China, ATL is the most camera having city in the motherfucking world. They're not joking. Esau be winging it and lying on numbers and stuff a lot, but you know they know when they getting janky. You know the numbers on their jankiness.
Tens of thousands of cameras watching everything.
Right. And China got that, you know, the facial recognition, the social credit score. Well, that's exactly what's coming here, or just the spirit thereof, or these people watching everything, just something simple like a school traffic camera, or those, you know, or just a traffic light camera that takes a picture of your license plate, and you'll have a freaking ticket in the mail very soon if you go over that speed limit, man, or if you run that light, man. How much more so in a time like the earth has never seen before, in which we are prophesying. These things are prophesied to happen. Esau Edom want to be like the Most High and have tabs on everybody. See, we understand that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun via the holy angels in the Lord's hopeful elect. Yahweh Shai, all right, the holy angels in the hopeful elect. We see all these things through the spirit. So they want to be like that, the so-called white man and their counterparts. They want to keep tabs on everybody. And being that there's a lot, I'm telling you, it's dying off, man. There's a lot of Elamites, the so-called Indians in Atlanta. They're taking over to the point, last time I went, I was very uncomfortable. Do you hear me? Last time I went, I don't know, it's been a while since I slid through. I took my daughter to the aquarium, things like that, downtown. All I see, it used to be us everywhere. All I see is Elamites everywhere. I'm talking about, we had to get up out of there, like, you know, some slick stuff. I'm like, you know, I feel kind of uncomfortable. All these Elamite people, I'm used to nothing but black folk walking around here.
So let's pause and take a closer look.
Oh, that's what I was saying. But it's dying down, man. The whole black people, like, it's all type of nations. So it's just a melting pot that you can pretty much just like every other major city in the United States and Babylon the Great, these major cities are going to be some of the worst places on planet Earth. These major cities in Babylon the Great, so-called USA, where, you know, Miami's, your Los Angeles's, your New York's, okay, your Chicago's, your ATL's, man, your Birmingham's, and then, you know, Birmingham ain't that big, but they do a lot of unalive in there. It's a melting pot. You got all these nations, which means you have all these ideologies, all these ideas, all these doctrines, and guess what? It ain't nothing but wickedness combating wickedness. You got a bunch of whoredom lifestyle, the stripper during the pandemic. All right, I was speaking on that. Atlanta was still, it wasn't cracking, okay, but they still had businesses open and still clubbing. I remember the videos coming out while everything else was shut down in the rest of the United States. Somehow, some way, these niggas in Atlanta, all right, still found the way to party and remain in that mirth and folly spirit. And they just show you how stupid scripts speak about our people being sadists. We see these natural disasters, we see protests, and what do you see often during a natural disaster, during a protest? What you think I'm gonna say, people getting low and things like that? No, Eve out there twerking. Yeah, during protest, she's out there twerking. I've seen her during snowstorms and shit like that, out there twerking. This is why Yahweh Shai is getting ready to visit this place, and y'all ain't gonna like the visit.
This city has more than 60,000 public and private cameras linked up to law enforcement. That includes
It's just the ones hooked up to law enforcement, not to mention the Ring cameras, people just cell phone cameras, niggas with glasses recording, you know what I mean? They got the what them things, the Ray-Ban glasses or the Meta glasses, they be recording people. So that's a creep's paradise. This is a creep's paradise, man. We gotta pray up for the ones, brothers, that got daughters out here, man, because you got creeps out here with glasses on, and you think they just minding their business and they ain't doing nothing but recording butts. Oh, weird ass niggas.
cam, public transportation, and school surveillance cameras. This city has more cameras per capita than LA and New York combined. I knew we had to be better than those cities at something. I just didn't know it'd be surveillance. Like it or not, we joined this surveillance race back in 2007 when the Atlanta Police Foundation launched Operation.
A lot of stuff was happening around there, man. I was in Iraq. A lot of brothers was waking up. I believe the brothers say that's when the apostles like first came up onto YouTube, man. So there's a lot of stuff happening around that time, man.
Shield. It started as just 17 cameras, with the supposed goal of increasing our city's surveillance network for public safety. Within a few years, there were cameras embedded within every corner of our city. Now, the program links thousands of cameras into one massive network that law enforcement can monitor in real time. They even
So, hey, you know they got the profits in real time when they go out on the highways and byways that's in the ATL, right? And again, it ain't just Atlanta that's in a surveillance state. They're saying that this is the most surveilled city in this guy, all right? But hey, just wait. You know, California gonna fastly catch up. New York for damn sure gonna catch up. It's no way Atlanta gonna goddamn keep leading the way in that surveillance state. It got to be New York. You know what I mean? It got to be New York. They gonna come with it, man. Yeah, and that's why, the Lord's, brought the elders and apostles and elders all out through that area, New York, Connecticut, all that DMV area. Man, I ain't never even been up there. I'm from the South in my captivity so bad. Now I've been in the military, I've been some places, I've been out the country, obviously. But I never been up to New York, man. I never, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man.
Encourage homeowners and businesses to grant the APD direct access.
That's pretty much the point of it all, though. Bring out some precepts, but the whole point is, and I like it. It's kind of like a little fun lesson for me, kind of balance the harshness of the scriptures, man. Filtering things through the scriptures, though. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye, so wake up, my people, and you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Northern Kingdom Jake there too, and depart, for this is not your rest. So this world, especially us in Babylon the Great, hey, this is not your rest. Even though they sold us lies and taught us that this was the land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity, just like they're saying that about the ATL. I don't know where the hell y'all got this from. You know what I mean? Because especially us that's really from here, we don't get it. I mean, Maryland was cracking, right? I don't get it. Why y'all got to come down here if y'all are Jake is what I'm saying. Y'all should be able to do it wherever. You should be able to find success wherever. Why y'all got to move down here and make y'all look so corny? It make us look so cooler. Now I'm in the truth now, but I'm saying when I was repping at Georgia, whatever, ATL, but y'all look like, what we say, y'all lame as hell, boy. Y'all lame as hell moving down here trying to blend in, trying to tell about the, hey, where we from. Y'all were clowning us at first. Now y'all got down Washington State there want to try to act like you from the area. Boy, stop. Oh, again, the Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Why is it not our rest? Because it is polluted, and clearly you see how polluted it is. These people are obsessed. They're watching you. All right, they're obsessed. They want to watch everybody 24/7. And then there's just all those 6.5 million people. I mean, Esau is probably paranoid that something might happen with all those people coming through. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling who they think might come in there and blow some shit up, right? Then on top of that, you got the STD stuff polluted, and then of course you got the YNs, all right, and the YBs, all right, running all through there. So it is very, very polluted in Atlanta. Again, the crack still, you can still smell it in certain areas here, especially in like Bankhead. my cousin baby mom from Bankhead. We know. I really only been to Bankhead like that one time that she took us through there. I'm straight on that shit too. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. And you obviously see how people are absolutely destroyed. They ain't coming in the fear of the Lord in Atlanta, and the brothers are in Atlanta, all throughout Atlanta, man. Downtown with it, all throughout Atlanta. Prophesying, teaching our people right from wrong. But you got all those Israelites down there that ain't taking heed, so they're gonna be destroyed during this great tribulation because they didn't take heed to the doctrine, to the warning that this was not your rest, that Babylon the Great as a whole isn't your rest, that this earth as a whole isn't your rest, and especially raggedy ass Atlanta, especially raggedy ass New York, raggedy ass California. They're all raggedy. Look at California. This homeless stuff is sky high. It's smog everywhere. They got the same problems everywhere throughout the city. Chicago, what is wrong with these guys? They worse than the dudes in California. I don't know which one worse. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna have to say the people in California are worse with the gang banging in the 90s and stuff than Chicago, because hell, Chicago, you niggas living in a concrete jungle. Oh, okay, you're not getting no good sunlight. You're in these buildings and stuff. California, ain't y'all out there smoking dope, the best dope? Let y'all tell it. Hey, that's going off, by the way. And got palm trees and some of the best women in weather. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Why y'all out there acting a fool like that? We wish we had some palm trees down here. We got a couple in Georgia. You know what I mean? It's especially as you get closer to the southern region. But y'all got the beautiful, real deal, like desert palm trees. They say that those are natural palm trees. The ones in Florida are. But they're palm trees nonetheless, and they got those ones that grow up high too. Man, I love palm trees, man. They because for me, it's a symbol of like paradise or just relaxation. I used to put them in, on little plant palm trees, Hawaiian palms, in my homes when I can, and they're good for the air. I need to get some plants now. Get some damn air circulating in here. But yeah, man, the whole point, man, this isn't your rest. Our people are bugged out of their mind. They think that they can go to Atlanta, be Tyler Perry. He got his movie studio down there. So you got a whole bunch of people flocking to Atlanta to be actors, actresses, to be rappers, of course. You got strippers that'll come from, the ends of Babylon the Great because they think Magic City where it's at, or Stroker, goddamn pinups. They, Eve want to be wicked. She say this is where it's at. Again, a lot of that stuff is very, very dying out. This was more so in like the 2000s when Big Meech and stuff was down here in all of his wicked glory. Okay? But this thing is over with, though. This whole thing is over with. This whole Atlanta stuff, black, all music, it's over with. I've been putting curses out on Atlanta. After I got out of Rice Street, matter of fact, the Lord locked me up. You understand me? I was living in Atlanta. I was still there. I was living pretty good in Dunwoody, that's the north side, going up Georgia 400, going up to past Buckhead. Or Lennox Mall with it, don't ask me how I got there. I don't know. But I woke up, the brother Kasak from Mississippi camp, right? The Lord let that brother wake me up, man, through his will. I saw him. He was talking about the kingdom just sitting on the couch, man. About like 2 weeks after that, I was locked the hell up going through it, like the process. So the Lord woke me up and then locked my black ass up. What you think I was getting into in Atlanta? How old was I then? I'm pushing 40 now. I was in my 20s, you know what I mean? I was in my 20s, my late 20s. I was getting into some stuff in Atlanta, man, especially with Eve, man, And the Lord delivered me from the ATL with a strong hand, man, Atlanta wicked, bro. Atlanta is wicked. And if you're not strong, it will destroy you. The temptation, I'm saying, what you supposed to do if you ain't in this truth and you a weak man or just a weak ass Israelite, period. Let's say man, though. What I'm saying, Atlanta, what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is in Atlanta for you brothers that's like going through it without a woman. You go to Atlanta, you're going to be tempted, boy. You better stay out of Atlanta because I'm telling you could get a orgy on a Tuesday. Don't ask me how I know. Eve will come. It's like you could, and I'm talking about there's no money involved here, just being a Jake. There's so many women, they're so promiscuous, per the philosophies of Babylon the Great, per the philosophies of Atlanta or the ATL, that they just free and frolicking and just, I'm talking about as soon as you get even on the outskirts, you're gonna start seeing, just if you're not from an area that don't have, and that's like Georgia now, we know where they at. They all through out here, but it's not like Atlanta. It got so many people that it's just mind-blowing the amount of women. And the women outnumber the men on earth, period. Especially in Atlanta, they just outnumber, and they just got these crazy bodies, and it's like a smorgasbord. You will lose your way in Babylon the Great is the whole point. It ain't got to be freaking Atlanta. All this temptation. Miami, great temptation. They got a high STD rate too. Why you think that is? The beach life, man. They chilling, eating good, cooking out. I mean, it promotes this spirit of just folly and mirth. And if you ain't serving the Lord, I mean, truly, you could be in your folly and righteousness, but you guys aren't. So you're doing debaucherous acts, which is exactly why we're warning our people. Amen. Judgment is coming for this shit. And I'm telling you, Atlanta is going to be a shit show. The Walking Dead, the zombie stuff, never watched that, not into it. But I know it was filmed down here, in the zombie stuff. That's gonna be real. It's the CDC, all right? The zombie stuff, Atlanta, and it's some history that I'm not even gonna go into, that you clowns that claim y'all want them, don't know nothing. Wolves, they got these, you don't know nothing about these caves. Like, yeah, you don't know nothing about these, you don't know about them wolves and them caves. You don't know. I ain't even gonna get into that. There's some crazy, weird stuff happening in Atlanta. It's some real dark magic. The Cartoon Network people, are in Atlanta. A lot of, you know what I mean, just a lot of real deal money, Edomite money that they giving to Jake. But it's really, you know, Esau Edom. It has become, you know, a mecca of wickedness is what it's become. And that's pretty much the point of the epistle, that Atlanta is not your rest. It's going to destroy you because it is polluted, because it's just a bunch of prideful Israelites walking around thinking that it's their kingdom. This ain't the kingdom, my boy. You goofballs, and especially for you niggas that ain't even from down here, how much stupider, how much weaker do you look running to Atlanta like Drake, goofball? I mean, I get it. 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times, the last days, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and the doctrines of devils. What that boy named Eddie Long, right? Had a big mega church. I seen it often, man. I believe he ended up catching HIV, and it completely truth. Watch the documentary on it, man. I think it's his name, Eddie Long. I don't want to be saying the wrong dude. Mega church pastor guy. Let me look him up right quick. Fuck it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was him. Yeah. But he passed, man. I believe he passed from HIV, and it had came out. You know, he had all these mega churches in Atlanta, or at least one mega church in Atlanta. Big dude taking out, millionaire, all those things, and it came out that he was messing around with boys. Yeah, this is the
You to know, as I said earlier, I am not a perfect man, but this thing I'm gonna fight.
Yeah, you could fight it, but it came out, it was all true. Those boys were testifying, telling the truth, man, going into detail. I listened to it, bro. And he's like, bro, died of HIV. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're trying to tell y'all, because they taking heed to those seducing spirits and the doctrines of devils like that. Ultimately, Esau Edom, and then we pick up that type of mentality, and then we start teaching our people, or they start teaching the people, and you see what it produces, man. Nothing but a synagogue of lost people, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. It's like I told my family, move out of Atlanta if you can. They too, they don't care. They don't care about how the prices are going up on things, how dangerous it is. My cousins getting into shootouts, and I'm talking about the females. Okay, they don't want to leave. You know, it's because they have their conscience seared with a hot iron, and they live all throughout Georgia, and they know how peaceful it is in some places compared to Atlanta, but they just want to be where it's at. Conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidden to marry and commanded to abstain from meat which Yahweh Shemashah have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So basically, people just making up stuff, adding to, taking from the doctrine to fulfill their own lustful carnal desires. And the Lord is not with it. Matter of fact, in relation to those carnal desires, Romans 8:7. Because the carnal mind, and that word carnal goes in pertaining to the flesh, man. Carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh by Shema Hawashai, for it is not subject to the law. And we know a fearing the Lord, keeping the law, is how we show love to Yahweh Shema Hawashai. So if you're carnal, meaning you're not moving spiritually, you're moving via your flesh, it can't be subject to the will of Yahweh Shema Hawashai. Neither indeed can be. So it's going to cause you to be in a behavior like a nigga that moved to Atlanta, or somebody that's actually from the area. You know, so many people that be lying and stuff, like Jesus, man from Macon. You know what I mean? We got yearbooks and stuff like Hawkinsville, you know, is right outside of Macon. And we know my cousin in the same gang as him, man. You know, we know these things. Why is everybody lying, talking about they from the area, they from Atlanta, this pride? Why can't you just rep where you from? Why y'all gotta move down here? Yeah, you know, it's a sign of weakness if you ask me. I can't help it. I'm from the area, buddy. You know what I'm saying? What about you? All right, let's see here. Ooh, the book of Hebrews. Concerning some of the wickedness in the ATL, right? And it's not just Atlanta. I just speak because it's my AO. And I got Georgia tatted on me when I was in the world. It was, you know, near and dear to me. I don't care no more. I pray for judgment because I saw the wickedness, man. And I'm so thankful that the Lord delivered me because, again, bro, you can get it popping with, I'm talking about, man, I met it. And I'm saying met, all right? Just trying to keep things a little bit decent. But you brothers know what I mean. Man, I met every nationality when I had moved back. Because, I had moved back to Atlanta. And I met during that short period of time. I probably was only back in the A for no more than 6 months, man. During that time, I met every nationality, and I met a Hamite girl that put on, man, whatever. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it tempt you, man. You get caught up in that, and you just got girls just coming like a revolving door. Like you can pick them. You got Edomite girls. You got big booty Keishas. It'll drive it, boy. You got to be strong. You got to be strong. So, the scripture, what is that? Ephesians 6:16. We'll bring that out after this. Hebrews 13:4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hawashah will judge. And my boy, I'm testifying. That's all that's going on in Atlanta is a bunch of whoremongers and a bunch of adultery going on. And they're mixing and mingling. Don't ask me how I know. Okay? You just thankful to be delivered. You know what I mean? It's easy to get 1-2 Eve when you in the flesh and not in this truth, boy. And that's going to get you unalived, man. And I don't even want to. You see what I was getting into. Y'all kind of not finna, I've already kind of testified at some epistles back in the day. But you see, when I said I got locked up right after I heard the brother Kasat, right? Yeah, obviously you see what I was getting into with Eve and a whole bunch of other shit, drugs, and just being a nigga, right? Just being Jake, just being in the world, just being carnal, not coming in the fear of the Lord, not having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Again, the Lord woke me up like 2 weeks before He locked my black ass up, and I ain't see the light of day for a long time, cause my damn cellmate didn't even cut on. The first one I had. I don't know, man. The Lord be with us, cause I had just woke up, right? So if I am of the elect, we was already that. So I think that was an angel. That dude didn't say nothing. He was quiet, and he kept that light off, but he was so quiet, old school as we call him. That first one, and I believe that the Lord, cause that was, I never been locked up that long. I did weekends when I was in the army. That was the first time I actually got locked up like on some real shit. I had some real charges, but I'll show you, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go to Ephesians. Thank the Wadi Abashamasha for delivering all of us from all our transgressions, the process thereof at least, because we're not perfect. Let's see here. Let's go. Well, that's pretty much the point, actually. I guess I don't have to make it longer. But that pretty much the point is, but not only just specifically Atlanta, guys. This whole earth is wicked, man. Nobody's other than the Lord's hopeful elect is even trying. Now we're not perfect, but we are through the Spirit that the Lord gives us. Making forth a decent effort to acknowledge our transgressions and turn away from them, man, because we believe in the words of the Lord. As crazy as the great tribulation might sound, the horrors thereof, we actually believe it. So we want to hide ourselves in the name of Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashah, in hopes that we'll make it, man. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. I guess I'll leave it out with some positive stuff for us. So, we come out of this, we take the low, we wait on the Lord to give us a city that we can play around in righteousness, because again, that's all we really want. Let me be honest. Let me be a spiritual man. I'm all for what y'all think Atlanta is, a place where it ain't nothing but us, and the music good, right? And the food good, and everybody look good, and we can just be outside doing us in folly. I'm talking righteous folly, not an orgy, not out there drunk and having street takeovers and all that stuff. Now I'm talking about righteously fellowshipping together. That's what the kingdom is all about, dummies. That's what the Lord is promising us, dummies, and a lot more than just the aspect of a city and us playing around in it. This going, being a damn permanent theme park. You brothers been to Disneyland, you brothers been to Universal Studios. Love those places, man, especially as a kid. Hey man, how much more the kingdom? We talk about roller coasters. How much more the kingdom? If Esau, and I mean that's Esau to me. At Esau at its best, those roller coasters at Universal Studios. Whew, that's some of my favorite. I saw Kenan and Kel back in the day on the set. Okay, you know what they do to a young so-called black man to see my young, and that's another reason why Jake thought he was in his rest. You a kid, and you see your brothers, your big brothers, famous in their pajamas, reading their lines in Florida, on the set of Kenan and Kel. Oh man, we got to be in the kingdom. Nah, man, the Lord done taught us, man, cause the 90s was cracking, wasn't it? I'm a Nickelodeon kid, boy. 80s baby for real. Late 80s baby. I seen Kenan and Kel on the set, boy, rehearsing their lines. Blew my mind. But yeah, that stuff like that is why just like basically success, right? Seeing our people, seeing the Tyler Perry, seeing the L.A. Reid in the 90s, seeing the TLC, you know what I mean? Chile, you know what I mean? Coming from Columbus, GA, moving to Atlanta, Chile or from, Columbus, they where I'm at now. And the brothers, here in Columbus too. Yeah. Yeah. It's a mess though, man. So let's bet that's perfect. 1 Corinthians, perfect way to leave it off. 1 Corinthians 2:9, classic. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, and we can imagine, we've heard brothers and sisters had these visions and dreams of the kingdom. Neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh by Hashem and Yahushua have prepared for them that love him. A city is built for us, right? Decked out. It's the Father's good pleasure to reward us with what we want. We want our own land, don't we, guys? It ain't Atlanta, goofball. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh. Shout out to next time. Shalom.